You don't need to be afraid of every HOA, and here's why. Welcome to our Money Market Update. You have John, Randolph, and Michelle with Hatch Homes Group here. Thanks for liking and subscribing and listening and sharing and all the things. Last week, we had discussed how there's a lot of new build condos due to infill and how a lot of people tend to overlook any property with an HOA and they steer away from them. It's a big concern. But why are people so scared of HOAs?
Well, I think they're scared because they just don't really understand the difference between the good and the bad ones. And there's some really good ones, and the bad ones are like they maybe not even cover a lot in their HOA, right? There's also very important to have a very good management company to run the HOAs or a very good solid board.
Yeah. And you can't really compare like a small, like 2 to 5 unit HOA to like one that has 80 plus hundreds of units, right? They're going to be night and day. But with big ones like that, you really do need to look at the management. What else, John?
Well, a bigger complex has got a bigger pool of people living there to draw on, to be on the board, and more likely to be well run, and better organized. It's important to look at what's happening with the complex, any special assessments that are coming up. If the homeowners is well run, they've planned and they've got reserves to do like roofs or painting or necessary maintenance. But some complexes let that go and could be special assessments subsequently. So the other thing to look at is any upcoming legal action, and it's important to look back through the minutes and see if there's any signs of that. Legal action can be horrible, and that's where condos have got some reputation, because there's been some horror. But legal action is not super common, but the ones that have come up have been pretty bad. If it's an FHA loan, FHA have some special requirements, and the complex needs to be approved, and
that's a big one.
Yeah. Also, the percentage of rentals and any delinquencies on the homeowners' dues that are looked at pretty carefully. So,
yeah. Some really important tips too, right?
Yeah, I agree. And John explained it very, very, very well. But basically, there's two important tips. Meeting minutes, very important. You can have 12 months of inventory, but I think it's we recommend 24 months, very good meeting minutes to kind of understand what's going on in the neighborhood or in the condo, right?
Like what people are talking about at the board meetings, right? You want to know.
Absolutely.
Because that's where people are going to say like, oh, I noticed that this part of the building needs to be painted or something.
Absolutely. And that's all recorded in the meeting minutes. And what's also very important is what's called the reserve study. Basically, that's the amount of money that they have reserved. So for potential, painting, roof replacement, siding, and all that stuff.
Yeah, because it can be really costly. And so it's really important to look at that. And remember that if you are getting into a community that has an HOA, whether it be single family in a planned community or a big complex or a smaller complex, it is built into your contract that as a contingency to review the HOA documents. So we pull all of those from whoever has them, usually a management company, and you have a certain amount of days to review them and agree with them. So if you see something in the meeting minutes that looks like it might be a problem in the future, you're going to want to then look directly at those reserve account to see if there's going to be something that is going to be able to be covered. And if it's too big, if it's something that we can't negotiate with the seller to help provide payment for that, then it is something that you can back out over and get your earnest money back and move on. But I think that's a really important contingency to remember and to not not be turned away or turned off by HOAs just because you hear horror stories, because they're all managed differently. They're all kind of different scenarios and at different stages. So I think it's important to have a realtor like us to guide you through that process and help you understand it so you're not scared of it. I mean, also another really good thing is that oftentimes your homeowners association fee that you pay per month is going to cover some of your utilities, right? Like they may cover your water, sewer, and garbage bills. That can save you hundreds of dollars a month. And yeah, you're putting hundreds of dollars in, but they should pay for some of those bills, pay for all the exterior maintenance, pay for all these things that actually are really great, that if you had a single family home on your own, you'd have to pay for it eventually sometime. So I think it's important to remember those things. And also remember that, like, we're not lawyers, we can't give you legal advice, but if you get these documents and you're overwhelmed by them, you can always hire a lawyer that can review them for you. So that is what we have for you this week. If you want to talk more about HOAs and the pros and cons of it, please reach out. I'm happy to have that conversation. I've lived in HOAs. John's been the president of HOAs many times. We have a lot of experience that can help you. So reach out, call us, text us, email us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Thank you so much. Have a good week.
Yeah.